Well, you're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, the Joplin City Council has approved demolition of the old Freeman Hospital to make way for new affordable housing.
Also, one Missouri community calls for repairs and change after tornado sirens failed over the weekend.
And we've got mostly cloudy skies out there to start. A couple of stray showers and thunderstorm chances building in over the next several days. A look at that forecast, get you out the door, coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Porter. It's just after 7 o'clock on this apparently Poltergeist Wednesday, April the 23rd. we have this light. It started flickering.
It's angry.
It is. And you know, the thing is, the common solution in a lot of cases, you turn the thing off and you turn it back on. And actually, that solved it. But then some of the other lights didn't come back on. So and then it started doing it again. So it was all for naught. But welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's going to be a nice, fun Wednesday. And the building that I have got to get into, I'm not going to go over the whole thing, but I need to see this place one time, is about to be no more.
Plans are underway for an affordable housing development at the site of the old Freeman Hospital in Joplin.
On Monday night, the Joplin City Council unanimously approved the removal of asbestos and demolition of the vacant building.
KOAM Samantha Walker shares what's next for the location.
For years, the old Freeman building on South Sargent has sat vacant, deteriorating over time. Joplin City officials say the building was unlikely to ever be rehabbed since it no longer qualified for preservation tax credits. That's due to the number of times it's been modified.
It's been an issue for everyone. I mean, that's 20th Street corridor. It's so visible. People see that blight, and I've seen it for many years. So now we have a great opportunity to get it down and put that space back in production, especially with affordable housing.
The former owners of the site, the Kraft family, donated the land to the Economic Security Corporation, known as ESC, who plans to develop affordable housing there. The main targets for that housing will be veterans and seniors.
As a nonprofit, one of the hardest things to getting affordable housing is finding land at a reasonable cost to where we can do that. We were able to get that donation.
The development will be a three-way partnership between the city, ESC, and Habitat for Humanity and its Joplin Economic Housing Development Initiative, known as JEDI. They already have plans for what they want to build.
We would like to build 3 2-story duplexes at the location. These would be rentals under JEDI. We've built one at 311 North Joplin here recently in partnership with Economic Security. We have a good relationship with them.
The city will be using American Rescue Plan Act funding for the demolition of the old building. Bolander says funding to build the affordable housing will come from a city program that receives funding from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
With inflation, material costs, labor costs have all increased drastically. So it has priced some people out of the market. So anytime we can get more affordable housing and people into those homes, it's a good thing for Joplin.
The 3 partners hope the project will revitalize the Joplin area.
Talking all the time about what we can do together to help improve the community.
Reporting in Joplin, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Well, city staff say they do not yet have any sort of timeline for when the process of demolition will begin.
They plan to begin meeting with contractors soon. Again, I'm just asking very politely, if you'll let me in, let me see it before it's torn down. Just one time. I don't know why, I just have to. And something you need to see is the sunrise, and it's somewhat obscured by clouds out there this morning. We have those mostly cloudy skies across the region. You can see them from downtown Pittsburgh and from the MoDOT camera located at 20th and Range Line. It's looking back roughly west-northwest, so back toward the Bel Air Center. And as we look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker, man, okay, this here isn't actually happening. I did check the radar loop. This is just a bloop on the radar. These showers, there's barely anything left of them, but they just don't want to go away. But that's all right. They're very isolated right now, and that's how they're expected to remain. But we could see more showers and storms overnight tonight, which we'll talk about in a moment. Through the rest of today, though, we'll have a southeast wind at about 5 to 10. We are looking at our temperatures being fairly mild out there, and eventually those storms overnight. We could get a stray pop-up shower or storm across the region today, but again, I think the majority of us are dry. It'll be overnight that we do see some storm chances in our western counties. And with that said, we do have a low hail risk out there and a low wind risk. So again, not expecting any kind of significant severe weather, and this will be really confined to our far western counties. But just a heads up, could get some small hail, maybe some gusty winds overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning. We're warm this morning already, 59 in Joplin, 58 in Pittsburgh. Our temperatures this morning into the upper 50s and low 60s across the area. So as I mentioned, a very just warm start to the day. Eventually upper 70s by this afternoon, some low 80s absolutely possible, and a mix of those partly to mostly cloudy skies. We have thunderstorm chances that kind of begin today and run all the way through next Tuesday. And we also have a severe threat next week. We're going to go over all those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, the Lamar, Missouri community is working to pick up the pieces after a tornado swept through on Easter Sunday. The EF0 tornado left some residents with broken tree limbs in their yard and without power. The city administrator of Lamar says some of the main issues are damage to homes and downed power poles. He said yesterday crews were working to restore power to residents. The city administrator also says the tornado was rain-wrapped.
Start dealing with power outages and removing people's life comforts, it changes their lifestyle. And not knowing what businesses are going to be open and what resources are going to have available, that plays a high emotional toll on people.
Rive says volunteers are also coming together to help the community with cleanup. Well, the National Weather Service has also confirmed that a tornado produced the damage this weekend in Jasper County. The NWS says the EF1 tornado touched down just north of Galena, causing damage to multiple trees and roofs before crossing the Missouri border west of Belleville. Now it continued through Carl Junction before lifting near the intersection of County Road 210 and H Highway. Cleanup efforts continue there as well. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app.
And we never had any issues until this time with these new sirens.
Repairs underway today in Kabul to bring the city's tornado sirens back in order. When Sunday's severe storm rolled in, people found out they couldn't hear the sirens going off.
You know, at least some of them went off, but you know, people still weren't able to hear it. And granted, they're not designed for people inside your house to hear.
Stacy Monter is the city's electric supervisor and previously served as the safety coordinator for the Office of Emergency Management.
The one at City Hall was working. The other one, what we call it, the 5th Street, was working.
But it turns out, Monter said, the batteries in the 5th Street siren and the one by the high school were the culprits. He said he actually lives near the high school siren and was wondering why it wasn't making any noise during the storm.
The one at the high school, and it was a battery that was basically blown up inside of it. That's what operates the sound.
And he says the 5th Street one was still working, but the tone wasn't right. In fact, off camera, I spoke to a person who lives nearby who said all he could hear was a low humming sound. When asked about having the sirens tested, Monter said they used to test them regularly, but it's been about a year since they last were, due to changes in the Office of Emergency Management. But the city was able to quickly get the parts they needed to make the repairs right away.
They said they was going to bring the stuff down, and they was supposed to be here this week, and they ended up coming today, and they should be done today.
Kabul Police Department says on its Facebook page it will be testing the sirens every second Tuesday of the month. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, we hear how a few writing tips can help you land your next grant. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Glenwood Park, located in Parsons, Kansas. Receiving funding for a community project could seem like a daunting process, but with a few tips, all that can change. We have Carrie Lance from the Kansas State Research and Extension Office with us this morning with a few tips to help you finalize your next grant. Good morning and welcome to you.
Hi, good morning. Thank you.
So talk to me a little bit about grant writing basics.
Okay, so we have a grant writing workshop coming up on May 15th at the Parsons Research Center. Nancy Daniels, who is the Community Vitality Specialist from K-State campus, will be coming down, and she is the grant writing guru. Like you said, it can be super hard to know where to get started, to be able to find your community needs, and she is all things grant writing. So she's going to be there to give us tips and tricks on where to find that information, where to even look to find what grants are available to you.
Now, is this open to the public?
Absolutely.
So,
this is open to anyone.
Right. And so specifically for people, kind of what individuals are you gearing this towards?
So Nancy's forte is in the nonprofit side of grant writing, but she also had it in Parsons because she knows that there's been some infrastructure issues in some of our local communities. So she's really looking forward to having some of our local city government, our rural water districts, volunteer fire departments, and things like that to be able to come. Schools, teachers are always looking for grants to better their classrooms. So anyone is available to come. But the Kansas Hub, the infrastructure hub, will actually be present as well.
Fantastic.
And they're able to help bring in some of those match dollars from the federal infrastructure. And so if they have a qualifying project that they're able to do.
Okay, fantastic. And is it even open for someone who might not have a specific grant that they're looking at, but want to find more about the process as well?
Absolutely, yes. This is great for beginners. It's great for anyone who's just starting off, or it's also a great refresher course for anyone who has been successful in writing grants in the past as well.
Fantastic. Now, if people want to attend this workshop, when, where, give me all those details.
Absolutely. So the workshop is May 15th in Parsons at the Extension Research Center there. And they can call our office at 620-784-5337 or email me at clance@ksu.edu.
All right, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Happy to have you. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:16 now on this Wednesday morning. And those showers again up into, now really into north central portion of our area, just not dying out, but they're also not moving too much. We do have those showers out there. The rest of this, as you see if you watch the loop, this is not actual rain that's showing up. We did have some showers and storms this morning. They marched up toward Kansas City and on the east side of the metro up there. They just kind of fizzled out. We're not expecting much today, but overnight tonight, we do have a low risk for maybe some small hail and perhaps some gusty winds out there with some thunderstorms that'll roll into our western counties tonight. Through the day today, we are looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies. We'll have a light southeast breeze. We could get an isolated pop-up storm really anywhere in the area, but the majority of us will remain dry. It'll be overnight again, late this evening and overnight, and we'll start to see thunderstorms out there. So Chanute, Fredonia, back toward, let's say, Sedan and northwest is where we're going to have an opportunity for these thunderstorms. Here we are at 2 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. More of those storms out there, and they could last up to maybe 5 or 6, and then they'll start to clear out. Overnight, though, also just from that system, could get an isolated shower or storm outside of that zone overnight, but again, the better chances are going to be confined in our northwestern counties. Then as we head into Thursday afternoon, we'll start to see better chances for a few more widespread showers and thunderstorms. Not expecting anything severe with this activity, but more of us will get in on the shower and thunderstorm activity as we go through the afternoon and late evening hours on Thursday. Then we head into Friday. A few isolated showers, a couple of thunderstorms to start our day. We'll have those chances through the day on Friday for some isolated showers and storms. And again, no severe weather is expected with that. It's next week that we've got to watch. So there's our low risk for overnight tonight. As we head into tomorrow, we have that low risk in our far western counties again. And then Friday, the risk is only clipping southwestern Washington County at this point, and it's a low risk as it is. So again, not much expected there. Clouds, still mostly cloudy out there. Low 60s to start, low 70s by 11 o'clock this morning. And as we head into the afternoon, going into the upper 70s, maybe some low 80s, that mix of partly to mostly cloudy skies here and there. That continues through the evening. Thunderstorm chances out west overnight, back into the upper 50s, low 60s. We'll have scattered showers and storms throughout the weekend as well. No severe weather at this point is expected so far. A few shower storms possible to start our Monday, but then by Monday evening, we want to watch thunderstorms that are going to be developing initially in our western counties. These could become strong, potentially severe. They could continue into into early Tuesday morning. We'll have a brief pause and we'll see additional development by the late morning into the early afternoon hours. And these storms could be strong to severe as well. And they'll continue through Tuesday evening into the overnight before early Wednesday morning. They'll progressively begin to exit our area. So here's our severe risk that we're looking at for Monday. It has been expanded much further east, so most of the area for Monday night into Tuesday, we have those scattered showers, or we have that severe thunderstorm potential, and then that potential begins to slide east as we head into Tuesday. So this is your heads up now that we are expecting some possible severe weather Monday night into Tuesday and Tuesday night into early Wednesday next week. So just make sure you are prepared. 70s for most of all of these rain chances out there. Low 80s Monday and Tuesday. The storm should wrap up early Wednesday. It'll be a little cooler next Thursday and then back to about 70 by next Friday. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Welcome back. We have Stephanie Potter and Tara Fairchild from the Mosaic in Southeast Kansas with us this morning with an invitation to a luncheon to learn more about the organization and how you can help through Partners in Possibilities. Now, welcome. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. Happy to have you both. So talk to me a little bit about the organization.
Sure. Mosaic is a faith-based nonprofit organization that relentlessly pursues opportunities for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, and so they look in the community for those opportunities, and it takes that caring community to get that support.
Absolutely. Talk to me about some of those opportunities and specifically some, partners and community members who might have something for those individuals with intellectual disabilities.
Oh, yes. So there are many ways that people can be a part of their lives. As you know, all people have a need to belong and to be, just have the best life. And so when we think about Partners and Possibilities, we also think of not only funding, which is wonderful and needed because 96% of our individuals are supported by Medicaid, and to fill that gap, people can, volunteer. They can provide volunteer opportunities for our folks, places to practice skills like cooking if they have a space for that, and of course, if they have any other ideas, which is why we put our heads together at this Partners and Possibilities event to find out what we can do together.
Absolutely. Talk to me a little bit more about this luncheon, just who's invited, when and where it will be, and kind of what the goal is.
Sure. We will share a lovely story about two besties, and Tara's going to share with you guys today about that. So would you like to share?
Just going to give you a little taste of what we'll be talking about. Bootsy and Terry are two of the sweetest ladies you'll ever meet. They met about 15 years ago when Terry moved to one of our Mosaic group homes and Bootsy was there. They immediately began planning and scheming to go to Disney World. And with Vonette Gatewood, which is one of my coworkers, she's fabulous. Her and the Mosaic team worked together, and with some of those generous donor funds, they were able to get them to Disney World to achieve those dreams. And then fast forward to about a year ago, they decided that they wanted to become roomies in a Mosaic at Home shared living home, and that is how they came to me. And they came with three big goals in mind. First of all, they're a package deal. They come together. Second, they wanted a pet. And the third non-negotiable is that the TV needed to play John Wayne on a loop because John Wayne's the best. Okay. So yeah, getting them moved, those moving expenses, things like those are also ways that donor funds help support us.
That's fantastic.
And the community can support us by being home providers. And if you're interested in that program, mosaiccareers.org is where you would go for that. We are growing in Kansas.
Absolutely. And when and where will this luncheon be?
Absolutely. So it's going to be Wednesday, April 30th at the beautiful John Parlow Education Center at noon. It is free. We do request that you just let us know by calling 620-605-2729, and we'll save you a seat. We'll feed you, and you get to hear the story of Miss Bootsy and Terry, shared by our lovely Tara.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Happy to have you both. Good luck on your event. Wonderful organization. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:29. I'm Elise Snowy. While Missouri Southern took the lead in going green, celebrating Earth Day with a special focus on sustainability. The university welcomed local middle and high school students to discuss ways to make daily living more eco-friendly. Organizers say events like this are a critical reminder that everyone has a role to play in making the environment a healthier, more livable place.
Big picture, the environment is interconnected for everyone. So whatever's happening in Missouri impacts the surrounding states. Whatever happens in the United States potentially impacts globally. And so a focus on what is happening at a local level is also a focus of what can be happening at a national level or at a global level.
Now, more than a dozen local companies participated in the event. Well, Crowder College opened a new chapter on its annual used book sale yesterday. The college's Lee Library director says all types of books are up for sale, including children's books and hardcover fiction. Funds from the sale help the Friends of the Library purchase equipment, books, book lecture speakers, and special events throughout the year.
So in the past, we were able to use our money to buy extra student laptops that students are able to check out for the whole entire semester. So that really helps our students, especially students who are taking online classes that can't make it to campus to use our computers. They're able to check a laptop out for the whole entire semester.
The event is open to the public as well as campus community. The sale will continue for 2 days more. Just head over to KOAMnewsnow.com for more information. Well, the Sunflower State just announced it has a plan for Work Zone Safety Awareness Week. Kansas Work Zone Safe is a free online driving course aimed at teaching new drivers how to safely navigate through work zones. The course will include information about safe behaviors, laws, and situations drivers may encounter in work zones. You can find more information about the course on our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, honoring those who dedicate their lives to serving others. Last night, the South Joplin VFW Post 5293 honored the parents of fallen firefighter Tucker Berry with a special plaque. Berry lost his life last October from injuries sustained in a golf cart accident while off duty. Berry served as a Reddings Mill firefighter. He volunteered for Lockwood Fire and was also a Dade County first responder.
Well, you know, we're proud of everything you accomplished. And this is very special. I mean, it's very special, you know, to receive something like this from an organization like the VFW.
Berry planned to continue serving others as he was studying to eventually become an attorney. Now let's head over to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
We've got those mostly cloudy skies out there this morning, which you can see from downtown Pittsburgh. Our camera at 4th and Broadway, and the MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line on the Joplin side. Still cloudy skies out there this morning. A Skywatch storm tracker still showing these showers. This activity is not actually happening, but these showers, man, they just keep trying out there. They haven't fizzled out just yet, so if they hold, you might eventually get some sprinkles into, let's say, Fort Scott, eventually back into northwestern Barton County, so maybe Lamar, Jasper. But again, that's assuming they hold even that much longer. But otherwise, we're looking at another warm day. We'll have a mix of partly to mostly cloudy skies. Could see an isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm anywhere in the area today, but I do believe the majority of us will be dry. It'll be late this evening into the overnight, and we get a few scattered showers and thunderstorms in our northwestern counties, and we do have a low hail risk in those counties, and we have a low wind risk out there as well. So maybe some small hail, gusty winds with these storms overnight tonight. Outside of that, though, not bad temperature-wise this morning. 59 in Joplin, 57 in Pittsburgh. Majority of us, we've spent the morning into the upper 50s and low 60s, and that's how we're still sitting right now here at 7:33. As we head into the afternoon, upper 70s, some low 80s, absolutely possible. Mix of those partly to mostly cloudy skies. An isolated pop-up storm may be possible. And we'll have southeast winds at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Scattered storm chances, they really are kicking off from last night through next Tuesday. Unfortunately, next week, we also have a severe risk. We'll go over those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Lisa?
All right, Chris, thanks. So the State Department is undergoing some big changes. The country's diplomatic corps is the largest agency to undergo a reorganization under President Trump. Fox News correspondent Alexandria Hoff reports.
No one's going to be walking out of the building. At least not today. The State Department is calling a dramatic consolidation effort a roadmap to reduction. Secretary of State Marco Rubio calling the department bloated, bureaucratic, and unable to perform its essential diplomatic mission. The proposal seeks to shrink staffing levels by 15% while also merging or closing 100-plus bureaus worldwide, according to documents obtained by the Associated Press. Rubio adds, redundant offices will also be removed and non-statutory programs misaligned with America's core national interests will cease to exist. Rubio, who is now also administrator of USAID, released this chart. The department says USAID's inclusion prompted the need to streamline. And while it will adhere to the same goals as DOGE, employment decisions will largely be left up to State Department officials.
This approach will empower the department from the ground up, from the bureaus to the embassies.
The department says questions of embassies or consulates closing are not addressed in the reorganization plan. Earlier today, Secretary Rubio met with Qatar's prime minister here in Washington. Russian President Vladimir Putin met with Qatar's emir last week, where the leaders discussed a possible peace deal with Ukraine. U.S., Ukrainian, and European officials are set to meet in London tomorrow for peace talks. President Trump's special envoy for Ukraine, General Keith Kellogg, is slated to attend. The State Department says Secretary Rubio will not. President Trump is planning to travel to Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates next month. In Washington, Alexandria Hoff, Fox News.
And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOA Morning News. An Arizona family honors a dog for saving their toddler. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Glenwood Park in Parsons, Kansas. In Consumer Watch this morning, some Americans are feeling better about the magic number to retire in comfort. A survey from Northwestern Mutual Polling more than 4,600 adults shows the number for Americans to retire comfortably is 1.26 million. The magic number is down nearly $200,000 from last year. The survey also shows 51% of Americans likely expect to outlive their savings. Well, JP Morgan and Chase and Citigroup say they are stashing some money away to cover expected losses, while retail card issuer Synchrony is clamping down on its lending practices. Now, meanwhile, Capital One says the amount of cardholders making minimum payments has surpassed pre-pandemic levels. Credit card companies say consumers are booking fewer vacations and spending less on travel and entertainment. The Department of Justice contends Google's search capability is a monopoly and it shouldn't be allowed to use artificial intelligence in searches because AI could extend that monopoly. The DOJ and some state attorneys want to force Google to sell off its Chrome browsers and become more competitive with other browsers. Google is reportedly planning on appealing the final ruling in the case. Many of our everyday actions can take a toll on the environment, like washing our clothes. Advocates like Rachel Z. Miller, founder of the Rosalia Project for a Clean Ocean, says millions of plastic fibers shed from our clothes and are polluting the planet. Fox News' Ted Lindner takes a closer look at how you can help reduce the cycle.
You may not know it, but many clothing items like activewear, socks, sweaters, and more can contain plastic fibers.
Most of the clothing that we all wear is made out of synthetic or plastic-based materials. That may come as a surprise to people who kind of think about cotton t-shirts and wool and things like that. But the way it's all evolved is that the majority of our clothing is synthetic and the majority of that is polyester.
And as these clothes are worn and washed, their tiny plastic fibers can break apart.
When they break off those tiny little pieces of tiny fibers, that's called microfiber, and when it ends up in our natural environment, that's microfiber pollution.
A single load of laundry can generate millions of microfiber bits that overwhelm wastewater plants, causing the fibers to spread throughout the environment.
We've found them in waterways from high alpine lakes to the middle of the ocean. We know that microfiber is flying around the air, and it's been found in the soil, and it's been found in creatures at all levels of the marine food web and beyond.
To see which of your clothes may be prone to shedding, press a piece of clear tape to an item before sticking the tape to a piece of white paper. Any stuck fibers should be more visible behind the tape. Meanwhile, Washing your clothes less and spot cleaning more can help reduce microfiber pollution. But when it comes time to do the laundry, cold water is your best friend.
Then air drying as much as you can instead of using a dryer.
Ted Lindner, Fox News.
Meanwhile, Rachel Z. Miller hopes her invention, the Cora Ball, can also help. Her device works by catching microfibers from clothes in the dryer. Now, besides a Cora Ball, Miller says placing clothes in a traditional washing bag can also keep fibers from shedding. And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's about to be 7:44 now on this Wednesday morning. Here's those showers. And if you take a look, it's a gray bolt, so it's been a minute, but there was a lightning strike with this activity. It is weak. It is not much, but it's trying. And again, if it does hold together, the track it's taking would eventually bring some showers into the Fort Scott area. You can see in the latest loops here where it kind of died out, and it looks like it's trying to regenerate, so we'll keep an eye on it. Not expecting it to do anything, but I mean, we could see some rain Fort Scott back in towards, say, Lamar and Jasper, if it holds together that long or gets its act together again as just one of those little stray showers or storms out there. And that's going to be our chance today. We're going to have an opportunity for an isolated pop-up storm or two really anywhere. Most of us will be dry, but we could see that. Overnight tonight, though, we do have a low hail risk and a low wind risk out there for our northwestern counties. That's associated with some thunderstorms we're expecting overnight tonight. Again, through today, a mix of partly to mostly cloudy skies. We're mostly cloudy right now. We'll have that mix, and some of us might even briefly go mostly clear, but an opportunity for a pop-up storm or two will be out there. And then again, later this evening and overnight from about Sedan, Fredonia, Chanute, and back to the northwest, we'll have some opportunities for a few scattered showers and storms, and some of those could be strong, maybe low-grade severe with some gusty winds and small hail. There could be an outlier storm anywhere in the area overnight, but the better chances are going to be into the northwestern parts of our counties here into southeast Kansas, and they'll last into the early morning. Then we go to the Thursday, a couple stray showers up north, and then by the afternoon we get new development, additional showers, thunderstorms out there. Could have some spotty ones ahead of the main complex, but we'll get showers and storms to push through the area through the day on Thursday. Not anticipating any severe weather with that activity either. We'll have a few lingering scattered showers and storms through the day on Friday. It'll be all through the day. They'll be scattered. Not everybody will be getting rain all at once, but no severe weather is expected with that activity either. So again, overnight tonight, we have that low risk. Tomorrow, it's a low risk in our far southwestern edges of the area. And then for Friday, just scattered storms, the low risk just barely clipping southwestern Washington County. Mostly cloudy skies out there, but we are getting some sunshine. Okay, and some scattered storms also possible. Again, we're going to watch that little complex. Not expecting anything severe with it this morning, but could get some showers and storms with it as it sinks to the southeast. Mostly cloudy, low 70s by 11. Upper 70s, low 80s today. Southeast winds at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. And we'll have those storms overnight tonight, again, mainly into our northwestern counties, but an isolated storm outside of that will be possible. I want to touch quickly. Through the weekend, we'll have additional scattered storms, not anticipating anything severe. It's next Monday, Tuesday, and into early Wednesday. By Monday morning, a few scattered storms. By the afternoon and evening, we get more showers and thunderstorms developing across the area. These could be strong to severe. They die out a bit overnight, and then we see redevelopment late morning into the afternoon on Tuesday, and we could see additional showers and storms that could be strong to severe, and they won't begin to exit the area until very early Wednesday morning. So with that said, Monday, our severe risk has been expanded further east. This is going to be Monday evening into early Tuesday morning, and then Tuesday afternoon into early Wednesday morning. We have a severe risk then as well. So a lot we want to keep an eye on over the next few days with that severe potential next week. 70s for most of the days on this extended forecast. Some low 80s Monday and Tuesday. A little chilly next Thursday, at least comparatively, back into the low 60s. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
The Allen family is all back together after their 2-year-old son, Bowden, went missing in the Arizona wilderness.
Now the dog that saved the toddler is being honored. Gabriela Becara has the details.
A moment of peace between a boy and a dog.
This was a story of faith on my side.
They didn't know each other 1 week ago, but now the pair shares a story that's been heard around the world.
He was actually going on a journey that we never thought was possible.
2-year-old Bowden Allen wandered away from his home in Seligman, unknowingly headed on the adventure of a lifetime.
Rough terrain, rocks, trees everywhere. It's very easy to hide.
The toddler walked 7 miles, avoiding wild animals and major injuries along the way.
We saw lots of coyotes, and there are places that he could have fallen and gotten hurt.
The Yavapai County Search and Rescue Team were out on foot, on 4x4s, and up in the air searching for Bowden through light and dark for 16 hours.
He is a very lucky young man.
Luckily, Bowden had someone protecting him.
I could see how he was kept warm all night.
Buford, the Anatolian Pyrenees, found the boy sleeping under a tree and guided him to the Dutton Ranch.
He definitely walked the whole way, and it was crazy. I got Buford with him for a mile. And I got in the rocks and I lost his track, but he was with him for at least a mile from my house. So.
In the week since the rescue, gifts for Buford have showed up on the Dutton's doorstep.
Toys, chew toys, snacks, you name it. It's just a little bit of everything.
And rewards for this good boy are still coming.
For all that he did in bringing this young man home.
The search and rescue team made Buford an honorary member and even gave him this vest to prove it.
It's very rewarding to our members when a search is successful, and people aren't really focused on who found him. They're just glad that they were found.
Things are back to normal for the Allen family.
He's just active. He's just exploring all the time.
But they'll never forget how this ranch dog saved their little boy.
I just look at a miracle and I'm never going to forget it, so I'm living that every day.
That's an incredible dog there. And dogs are absolutely, I mean, I know I don't always like them, but they can do some amazing things.
They really can. They really can.
Our weather trying to do some amazing things this morning. That I'm just kidding. It's not really trying to do much, but the Skywatch Storm Tracker, we have those showers. Take a look on the latest scans. We're getting some reds and oranges out there. This little batch, I'm telling you, it is just trying its hardest to hold on. We had a little more lightning and thunderstorm activity with it. Nothing severe. I want to emphasize that. Back toward Emporia. Then it kind of moved into the northern counties here. It started to, and now we've got a fresh lightning strike. It began to die out. Now it's recycling again. So if it holds, again, nothing severe from this, but we're talking eventually Fort Scott, Lamar, Jasper, northeastern Crawford County. You know, again, if it's able to hold together. But that's part of what we've talked about with the chances of some pop-up storms today. We have a low hail and low wind risk in our northern counties, our northwestern counties overnight tonight. Through the day, partly to mostly cloudy skies, and then overnight, some scattered showers and storms will be possible in our northwestern counties that could have maybe some small hail and gusty winds with them. Well, another look at your forecast and news you need to know right after this.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. The Lamar, Missouri community is working to pick up the pieces after a tornado swept through on Easter Sunday. The city administrator of Lamar says some of the main issues are damage to homes and downed power poles. He also says volunteers are coming together to help the community with cleanup. Well, the National Weather Service also confirmed a tornado in Jasper County this weekend. The NWS says the EF1 tornado touched down just north of Galena, causing damage to multiple trees and roofs before crossing the Missouri border west of Belleville, where it continued through Carl Junction before lifting near the intersection of County Road 210 and H Highway. And plans are underway for the development of affordable housing at the Old Freeman Hospital in Joplin. This comes after the City Council approved the demolition of the building. The new housing will be designed for veterans and seniors. City staff say they don't have any timeline for when the demolition will begin, but they plan to begin meeting soon with contractors.
And today, partly to mostly cloudy skies, an isolated pop-up shower or storm will be possible. Most of us dry, upper 70s and some low 80s out there. That continues through the evening. Overnight, our northwestern counties, a few scattered storms. Some of those could be low-grade severe, at least on the strong side. Small hail, gusty winds will fall back into the upper 50s. Scattered shower and thunderstorm chances continue all the way through at least next Wednesday morning. No severe weather is really expected with this activity. Some strong storms would be possible, but next Monday night into Tuesday and Tuesday night into early Wednesday, we do have a severe threat that we do want to keep an eye on.
Yes. The annual First Thursday Art Walk in Joplin returns. The event features works from some of the area's finest artists, as well as good food and good music, all hosted by a number of venues in historic downtown Joplin.
And this footage you're seeing here is from a previous First Thursday Art Walk because, well, it's not quite Thursday yet. But if you are interested, the 18th annual event takes place May 1st. From 5:30 to 8:30 in downtown, and it's a lot of fun. All these things, and a lot of communities do things like this. It's a great way just to get out and explore your community, spend some time outside, family, friends, good food, good music, good art, all sorts of good stuff. Well, thank you all so much for being with us this morning. We will be back today at noon with more news and weather.
Have a great rest of your morning.